Petele. Brown Nutley past Leon for the race lead going into the flat out turn 12 area. And then in the pre-final this morning, Leon went around the outside of both Brown Nutley and Mark Kimber at turn 10 and 11 on the final lap to take the lead and eventually the win. 34 drivers, a capacity grid. And leading them will be the number 223 kart of Carlos Leon, 15 years old from Barcelona in the FA Racing number 223. There is Mark Kimber. Mark Kimber, the 2016 Junior Rotax World Champion, and trying his hand at X30 now for the Strawberry Racing team. And Mark will start on the outside of the front row. There is your pole man, getting a few final words of advice from his mechanic. And Carlos Leon will know that he knows this track well. His rivals, maybe not so much. And there is Jordan Brown Nutley, due to start third for the Dan Holland Racing team, and having a quick chin wag with the driver that's going to start alongside him on the outside of the second row, Oliver Clark for the M Sport Racing team. And looks as though Jen Wade is going to butt into their conversation. What are they talking about? Ask Oliver Clark as he brushed his teeth this morning, the little scruff.
Hi. Here we are on the grid. I was trying to listen to what you two guys were talking about.
Oh yeah, just about the race really. And the last one, what happened.
What happened?
Well, a bit of a scrap, but I think the front lot got away, so I think it'll be like that again in the final.
Yeah. We've had two really, really exciting finals. Do you think we're looking forward to the same thing here, or a little bit easier for you?
I think it's going to be an exciting final. I think it's just going to be one big pack. Everyone's just going to try and win, really.
Okay, so you guys have got it all worked out. I'm not sure what the guys at the back are thinking, though, if there's going to be one big pack or whether they're going to come like right through on the first corner. Have you enjoyed the racing here in Valencia at the Winter Cup?
Yeah, it's been really enjoyable. I've done a bit of Europe before, but this is one of my favourite events.
What do you think about the circuit? Any particular parts that are a little bit more challenging or best place to overtake without giving anything away?
I quite like the circuit. The starts are a bit challenging if you're on the outside, but it's a really nice track, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to see if you're going to be right or he's going to be right as far as your strategy is concerned.
Yeah, you've just got to wait and see.
It's a long race, isn't it?
Yeah, 15 laps, so everyone will be able to come through.
Okay, good luck, and we'll be watching, see what happens at the checkered flag.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there's Oliver, and joke around. He's a really nice karting family. His dad, very, very supportive indeed. And last year, Oliver represented the UK in the FIA CIK Academy, and was a very good ambassador for British karting indeed. Jensen Butterfield and fellow British driver Brett Ward on the third row of the grid. And that's 5 British drivers on the top 3 rows. Milan Petele from France will start 7th in kart 238. Then 254, Kike Bordas will be next. And looks as though Jen Wade has caught up with the only lady racer in the field, starting 16th, Belen Garcia. What has Belen got to say, Jenny?
Now, Belen, I knew that you were here among the boys. We had a little chat earlier in the week about why you're here. Obviously, you have a lot less experience than a lot of these guys. How are you feeling back here?
Well, I'm feeling grateful. I like to be here and I will enjoy the final as it was my last race.
Now, how's it been until now? Not so easy, has it?
No. There's a lot of level for sure, and I have enjoyed every session and fight and fought, and I will enjoy this one as the other ones.
Now, I know there's a lot of coaching going on here this weekend for you with Nils, your team manager. And you know the circuit, coming from Barcelona, but did you expect the level to be as high as it is?
Yes, I was controlling the lists, and I saw the first moment that there was a lot of drivers that had driven a lot more than me.
Yeah.
So I expected this, and that was the.
And of course, I'm going to ask you, what's your goal for the race, apart from the podium? Realistic? Have you got something in mind, a position that you'd say, I'm definitely going to make my way to there?
Well, for sure, it's improving and overtaking some people, but I don't have a set goal. It's just enjoying and learning as much as I can.
Okay, so as good as it can get, and we'll be watching. We wish you luck. Great to have you here with the guys this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Belen, who's going to be starting on the outside of the 8th row of the grid. Just a couple of rows in front of Belen is going to be Dean McDonald, who starts 12th. Now, McDonald started 25th in the pre-final in kart number 249, but raced his way all the way up into 8th position, then got a nose cone penalty which dropped him back to 12th, and so the Flying Scotsman is going to be on another mission today. And also look for drivers like Axel Charpentier in kart number 247 starting in 13th place. Louis Westover, who won the last round of the 2016 Euro Series as a junior. There's the Flying Scotsman, Dean McDonald, and I'm going to embarrass Dean again because his parents have been tweeting in. His dad Johnny's doing the mechanics, but his mum's tweeting in. The whole family, Nan, Grandad, and Minnie the dog, are watching from Scotland. There you go, Dean. I know, it's terrible, isn't it?
Okay, yes, I think they are watching back in Scotland. And Dean, I did hear you say, I'm glad she walked past me when I went by, so I had to come back. How are you feeling?
I'm a bit nervous, not going to be honest, but I always get nervous when it comes to the final, but looking forward to it.
Now, I did say to you when you walked on the grid, I'm sure you made up 19 places in the pre-final. Did you expect that? Because yesterday you said you're just going to pick them off one lap at a time.
I didn't quite expect to go 19 places, but it's always good. But I'm just looking to see what I can do in this one. Hopefully just do the same and see what happens.
We've got a little bit of an echo there. Sorry. Now, knowing your experience, I want to ask you, what are you thinking when you know, okay, some of these guys are really fast? You really have a confidence about you, but is it just full gas from the start and every corner, every lap, just focus on that?
Yeah, it is. It's just one of them races where the winner gets everything, I think. So, yeah, everyone's going to be going for it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, you better put your helmet on and we'll be watching the race. Well done today, and we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Well, and Dino, there's a final just bit of clip around the ear hole from his dad there to say good luck and get it done. And Dean, one of the most successful British drivers on the international stage in the last couple of years, and will be one of the final drivers to settle himself in his kart. So we'll run through the grid. Pole position, the inside of the front row on the left of your screen, number 223, Carlos Leon. Then it'll be Mark Kimber on the outside of the front row, kart number 248. Jordan Brown Nutley in kart 244 will start third, and then Oliver Clark in kart 251 rather. He will start from P4. Jensen Butterfield from Strawberry Racing will start 5th on the grid in kart 255, and then Brett Ward on the Mach 1 chassis for MLC Motorsport on the outside of row number 3. Milan Petele, the only driver here on a Praga kart in kart 238. He will start 7th. And then Kike Bordas in kart number 254. Kike, the Kids to Win driver, who's just seen his teammate Mari Boyer win the Junior X30 Winter Cup. He starts 8th. Alejandro Lajo Lopez in kart number 233, the Uno Matricula K-Team driver. He starts 9th with Josh Skelton for Coles Racing. What a result Coles Racing had in the junior race with Josh Rattican. Can Josh Skelton do a similar style of performance to get from 10th onto the podium. Then it'll be Edo Cohen, the teammate to Jordan Brown-Nutley for the Dan Holland Racing Team, the only Israeli driver here in kart number 235. And then Dean McDonald, the outside of row 6, 12th, from 25th to 12th in the pre-final. He's now got 15 laps to do, make some inroads into the top 10. Axel Charpentier for the EKR team starts from 13th, and then Louis Westover in kart 241 14th. Nicholas Shaw, a rib injury yesterday, had to make it through the second chance race earlier on, started 29th in the pre-final, made his way all the way up to 15th in kart number 225. Watch for the Strawberry Racing number 225. Then it is Belen Garcia Espinar. Belen Garcia, we spoke to young Belen. She starts 16th. Yann Bouvier from France starts from P17 in kart 230. Then it's Henry Laws from grid 18. Oscar Palomo, another second chance race qualifier. He starts 19th. And then Frank Chapard on the red speed kart rounds out your top 20. João Ferreira on the Mad Croc kart from Portugal starts 21st. And second chance race qualifier Patrick Kibble, he starts 22nd for the Metro Group team. Carlos Dembilio from Spain in kart 224 starts 12th, starts the inside of row 12 rather. And this man here, number 273, 25 years old, Joey Van Splunteren, returning to karting after a 5-year layoff, or a 7-year layoff rather. He starts 24th, although Joey has been much, much quicker than that. Got a penalty for track limits in the pre-final, which is why he's down in 24th. Arnaud Malizia in kart 237. Arnaud, who was a heat winner yesterday, but after one problem in one of the heats, can't quite get his way through the pack. He starts 25th on the Sodi kart. Then it is Samuel White in 26th. Simao Ventura and Alejandro Martinez on row 14. Antoine Percival and Tom Croydon, the Welshman, on row number 15. Then Valentin Aguillon and Manuel Galofre on row 16. Jonathan Brown from Ireland and Carlos Saval from Spain round out the 34 kart grid. Brown and Saval both retired from the pre-final, which means that they're starting from the back, but their tyres are that little bit fresher. Can Carlos Leon hold off the 5 British drivers that are starting directly behind him? Kimber hasn't won a race yet this weekend. Neither has Oliver Clark, Butterfield or Ward. Brown Nutley took 2 wins. Leon took 2 wins. McDonald took a heat win. Malizia took a heat win. Leon won the pre-final. They come into the tram lines, and for the final time this weekend, we are off and racing. 34 drivers led by Carlos Leon go into turn number 1, and 34 drivers all get through turn 1 cleanly. At the back, there's a spinner onto the grass. That may have been Patrick Kibble who's gone around, and there's somebody else taking to the grass coming out of turn number 3. That is the Uno Matricula team driver, and that driver is now cut across the circuit. That would be Alejandro Lajo Lopez. Is he going to drop right to the back of the grid? We shall see. Kibble is back up and racing, but up at the front it is Leon who leads from Kimber, and then it is Brown Nutley and Oliver Clark in 4th place. Brett Ward looks like he's made a good start up into P5. The rest of the field threading their way through. There goes Tom Croydon in the number 227 kart. He is down just outside the top 30. Down the back straight through turn number 12 and into the final chicane. It is Leon who has the lead. A complete lap number 1. Leon, Kimber, Brown, Nutley, Clark, the top 4. Then it's Butterfield, Ward, Petalay, Kike Bordas. Team McDonald is 9th, and Alejandro Lajo Lopez in 10th position. So I'm not quite sure which of the Uno Matricula team karts went off on the opening lap. It could have been Alejandro Martinez who went off, but everybody else manages to sort themselves out. Kibble down there at the back. He's still in the race, but he's a long way back after that earlier incident. But it's Carlos Leon trying to pull away and break clear of the trio of Englishmen behind him. Brett Ward now passes Jensen Butterfield. Butterfield slips back to 7th. Brett Ward in cart 202. He moves into 5th position. There's Leon. There's Kimber. There's Brown Nutley and Clark. Kimber jinks to the inside and takes the lead away from Carlos Leon, and Jordan Brown Nutley capitalises on the fact that there was a bit of space at the inside line to take 2nd position. Now Mark Kimber will try and pull away. Well, this is where we were at the start of the last lap in the pre-final. Kimber leading Brown Nutley and Leon just drove round the outside of the 2 carts directly in front of him now, coming through turn 10. That is the outside of a flat-out right-hander, where by the end of it they're doing 70 miles an hour. This is the point where Kimber defended, took Brown Nutley with him, and Leon just went, thank you very much, and just went burp straight past him to the lead. Through turn number 12, down towards turn 13. Kimber will try and steer clear as they come out of the final corner. That great image of 34 carts as Brown Nutley takes the lead going into turn number 1, and Carlos Leon takes advantage to take 2nd place. So Kimber moves back from 1st to 3rd. Brown Nutley setting the fastest lap of the race as he took the lead. Clark is there in 4th. Then a gap back to Petelet in 5th. Brett Waters slipped back to 7th. And Brown Nutley under pressure from Leon. These two, we saw them shaking hands as the carts came out onto the grid. So there is a great deal of racers' respect between them, although they both passionately want to beat one another. As we watch the rest of the field file through turn number 8, still all 34 drivers in this race. Brown Nutley, Leon, and there's Dean McDonald. McDonald in the 249 car passing Brett Ward, and that puts Dean McDonald into 7th place. He's ahead of his Strawberry Racing teammate Jensen Butterfield. Ward slips back to 9th. Then it's Lajo Lopez for the Uno Matricula team rounding out the top 10. Axel Charpentier 11th. Then Nicholas Scholl has got into the top 12 in cart number 225. Through turn 6 go the 4 leaders. Brown Nutley under pressure from Carlos Leon. Leon will jink to the inside under braking, will he? No, not this time. Kimber, then Clark. A little gap back to Milan Petelet. Petelet in that regal purple coloured Praga cart. It's a very, very smartly liveried cart. Is there in 5th, and in 6th position CIK Bordas in that turquoise blue and greeny coloured cart, the same livery that we just saw Mary Boyer win the junior race with. And behind CIK Bordas is Dean McDonald and his teammate Jensen Butterfield. McDonald into 7th, and he's only 2 and a bit seconds off the race lead. Well, as they go into turn number 4 and around that very tight left-hander, now through the left, but Brown Nutley is under pressure from Carlos Leon. If Carlos Leon can force Brown Nutley to defend and get into a real tussle, not only with Kimber, Clark, Petelet and Bordas join the lead group, so will McDonald and Butterfield. And behind them, there's a bit of a gap back to Lajo Lopez in cart number 233. But then there is a whole gaggle back to about 20th place. And look at them as they come onto the back straight there. You can see Jan Bouvier in that group, Carlos Dembillo. There is the Axel Charpentier, Nicholas Scholl in the 225. Scholl from the second chance race up into 11th place now. And he can see the race leader, Jordan Brown Nutley, going through turn number 3. We're only on lap number 7. Milan Petelet in cart 238 in 5th position. Sets a new fastest lap, 57.350. And we've now gone from a lead quartet to a lead quintet because Petelet has caught Brown Nutley, Leon, Kimber and Clark. There is the Frenchman at the back of the shot coming through turn number 9 now. And Carlos Leon sitting on the rear bumper. CIK Bordas in the red race suit. He's got about 30 cart lengths to make up to catch the top 5. But McDonald is chasing down CIK-FIA. Look for the number 249. That green cart coming out of the final chicane now as we've got a change. Carlos Leon takes the lead from Jensen Jordan Brown Nutley. Brown Nutley fights straight back into turn number 3. Okay, it's game on, and we're only on lap number 8. Leon goes back in on Brown Nutley. The top 5 now nose to tail. Clark takes advantage of the fact that Kimber had his momentum spoilt by the 2 carts in front of him battling. Oliver Clark moves into P3. Now Brown Nutley back up the inside of Leon. Kimber down to 5th as Petalay moves into 3rd. Petalay, and it's side by side again. This is brilliant stuff between Brown Nutley and Carlos Leon. That is now 3 times. Make it war. Careful now, Mr. Brown Nutley. Going into turn number 12. He was thinking about it. Jordan Brown Nutley thought about repeating the move, but then he thought no. And now Carlos Leon saying, come on, man, think. It's only on lap 9. Jordan Brown Nutley goes, well, game on. Good respectful racing between them. They chopped and changed 5 times on that last lap, and they didn't so much as trade a number sticker. And now Carlos Leon's been shuffled back to 3rd by Milan Petalay. Oh, Leon over the grass. Leon got shuffled wide there by Milan Petalay and Oliver Clark, and that is what Carlos Leon didn't want, and maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what Jordan Brown Nutley did want. He wanted to drag Carlos Leon into a scrap, and then when Carlos Leon was trying to look back forwards, he get muscled out from behind, and that's exactly what happened. And we've now got Jordan Brown Nutley leading with Milan Petalay 2nd. 3rd is Mark Kimber. And Carlos Leon now, he's got all the dirt and the detritus on his wheels. And where is he going to come through? Oh, there goes the number 223 cart. We've got a new change, a new leader. And for the first time all weekend, Milan Petalay from France takes the lead in cart number 238. The 14-year-old from Clermont-Ferrand. The Michelin test track. Home to Milan Petalay. Brown Nutley in 2nd. Then it is Kimber 3rd. 4th is CIK-FIA. And 249, Dean McDonald into the top 5. Out of Clark, Butterfield. Then a gap back to Lahore Lopez. There goes CIK-FIA. Up on the inside of Mark Kimber. So Kimber slips off the podium. CIK-FIA, inspired by Mary Boyer's victory earlier on, now moves into P3, but Petalay is getting away, and at the back of the screen you just saw a couple of carts going off at turn number 9. That looks like a Coles Racing uniform. Whether that's Josh Skelton or Tom Croydon, I do not know. The leaders now move on to lap number 11. Bordas gets past. CIK-FIA back into 5th position, and that is Kimber and McDonald up into 3rd and 4th. Well, in the first 2 heats yesterday, Dean McDonald did a total of 1.5 laps. He had an ignition problem, then a puncture, and now he's up into 4th place. And he's right behind Mark Kimber, but Petalay and Brown Nutley have got away. Oh, and McDonald at the inside of Kimber there, his teammate going into turn number 9. And Dean McDonald's onto the podium. Petalay, Brown Nutley, then a gap. Well, it's a big gap. It's 1.5 seconds. Dean McDonald, Mark Kimber, CIK-FIA, Oliver Clark, Jensen Butterfield. Their chances of catching the leaders solely now depend on Jordan Brown Nutley taking the fight to Milan Petalay. And Petalay is about 3 cart lengths in front of a flying Dean McDonald. This is lap 12 out of 15. Kimber, Bordas, 4th and 5th. Clark is 6th. 7th for Butterfield. Lajo Lopez is 6th. In fact, Lajo Lopez has got Charpentier, Joey Van Sprunteren now in 10th position. Scholes 11th. Carlos Leon has dropped down to 12th. Westover is 13th. Bouvier 14th. Then it's Brett Ward rounding at the top 15 with Dembillo, Palomo, Cohen. Then Belen Garcia, the young lady, in 19th. Carlos Saval from 34th to 20th. Then it's the number 237 cart of Arnaud Malizia in 21st, followed by Henry Laws. But on lap 13, Milan Petelet continues to lead. Dean McDonald 1.4 seconds back in third. But McDonald last time, well, a 57.4 for McDonald. 57.3 for Petelet. Petelet still has an edge. Kike Bordas pushing Mark Kimber along as best he can. And McDonald has now got to get his head down. The gap still 1.4 seconds. They've gone through sector number 1. Equal times between Petelet and McDonald. Petelet, Brown, Nutley and McDonald equal in time. Dean McDonald needs a bit of a hand from Jordan Brown-Nutley, but Brown-Nutley, for some reason, cannot quite close in on Milan Petelet. And Milan Petelet, he has been there or thereabouts all weekend, but I don't think he so much as led a lap before this race. Brown-Nutley closing in. Kimber defending 4th place from Kike Bordas. We start lap 14 out of 15. It's going to be now or never for Brown-Nutley. He can't put a wheel wrong. Through turn 3, into turn 4 they go. Milan Petelet on that Praga kart comes out of turn number 6. Brown-Nutley, the Alonso chassis for Dan Holland Racing, then the Tony kart of McDonald. Through the infield straight towards turn number 9. Brown-Nutley still not close enough to make a lunge. Oh, Petelet looked like he went a little bit too deep there into turn number 9. Has that cost him any momentum coming through turn 10 and 11? Brown-Nutley looks like he's got a run. Has he got a run? Will Petelet defend? Petelet checks over his shoulder though, and he knows he doesn't have to defend. Into turn number 13. Brown-Nutley's got a good run. Jordan Brown-Nutley has one lap to try and do something on Milan Petelet, and now Petelet defends. Through turn number 1 they go. Will Brown-Nutley spring a surprise into turn number 3? No, he's not close enough. Petelet jinks to the inside. Doesn't overshoot the corner though. Through turn number 5 into turn number 6. Brown-Nutley's going to have a little look, I think, into turn number 9 if he can. And if not, he's going to try the undercut coming out of turn 10. Is he close enough into turn 9? Do you know what? I don't think he is. No, he's not. Now, Petelet is going to have a choice. Does he defend and see if Brown-Nutley can do it round the outside? Or will he let Brown-Nutley have a look at the inside and hope that he outbreaks himself into the final corner? Petelet chooses the inside. Brown-Nutley goes for the undercut. Petelet, will he get the kart slowed down? No, he doesn't. Jordan Brown-Nutley pulls off a stunning manoeuvre and he takes the win. Oh, what a move. That is an absolutely cracking pass, and Jordan's mechanic, Mr. Carter, there showing his pleasure because Milan Petelet, well, he couldn't do right for doing wrong. Brown-Nutley swung wide going into the final corner. Petelet simply outbraked himself ever so slightly, and Brown-Nutley had the run, and that is 2 weekends in Valencia, 2 Winter Cups for Jordan Brown-Nutley. Rotax last weekend, X30 this weekend. What a start to the season for the Dan Holland Racing driver. And he beats France's Milan Petelet by 0.6 of a second. And there you go. So Dean McDonald, with his family watching back home in Scotland, he has just driven up to 3rd place in that final as more firecrackers go off in the background. What a drive. From 25th at the start of the pre-final to 3rd in the final itself. Mark Kimber finishes in 4th place and his teammate Jensen Butterfield 5th. So a 3-4-5 for Strawberry Racing. Then it's Kike Bordas, the leading Spanish driver, home in the senior class, followed by Alejandro Lajo Lopez in kart number 233. Oliver Clark faded to 8th there at the end, followed by a welcome return to Joey Van Splunteren, gaining 15 places to finish 9th on his return to karting action, and the top 10 rounded out by Axel Charpentier. You have to spare a thought for Carlos Leon, finishing in 11th place after battling for the lead in the early stages, but Nicholas Scholl, sore ribs and all, comes home in 12th position.